Good morning, happy Thursday. Welcome to Get Your Paint On. My name is Dallas from Privateer Press, your host with the most and never with dry toast. And we're here to paint some miniatures this morning. And with me, as usual, we got our social media mastermind and hype guru, John Swinkles. Good morning, John Swinkles.
Good morning, Dallas Camp.
And we also have, of course, our audio and video technician and what other name you want there?
That does it. Technician is just fine.
And just all around super awesome dude, Tony Kochek. What's
Good
up, Tony?
morning. What's up?
Whoop whoop. So now that we're all together and we're all gonna paint some minis, 'cause it's Thursday and that's what we do, yeah. Or something like that. All right, so I've got my wanderer here, and he's and he's ready to be painted.
So right off the bat, I have a question.
I have an answer.
I notice
Apple
he's not
pie.
primed black.
He's not primed.
You always prime black. What do?
For the studio, I prime black definitely. I've been, painting at home, painting my personal stuff. I definitely, I want to go fast because I want to get it on the table, right? It's like everybody else. The whole goal is to get your army on the table so it looks cool and you can play a game with it, right? Because, nobody wants an unpainted army. That's not fun. So I've been priming white and doing a lot of washing and glazing and then going back with finishing work to get that to get that speed I'm looking for, right?
Okay,
That's
so
all it is.
it's to go fast.
It's to go fast, which is like my favorite thing to do is to go fast. I like to get my stuff going. So I'm gonna take a little.
Before you do that, do you
Oh.
mind giving the Wanderer a little 360? Let everybody at
Spinning
home
around.
check him out.
Oh, yeah, I got
and
the
point
little-
out your little conversions too.
flames, which
Because
is the theme.
fire.
Because fire. I don't have enough blue tack on this. I don't have enough poster tack on this. It's warbling about like madness.
But it's Grimkin, so it should be madness.
It is madness. Man, Tony, I messed up my whole contraption.
I think you got it.
This is what happens when you do live stuff.
Doing it live.
Doing it live. We're doing it live. So I've taken some Guncore Brown. I've watered it down quite a bit. And if you watch, I'm just going to wash this right over top of that that black and white highlight. That's called Zenith highlighting or Zenith priming. And this technique's been around for a long, long time in miniature painting. It's super useful. You can also use it to, like, if you say you're not quite sure which direction you want your light coming from on the miniature, and even if you're not going to do this particular technique, you can use it to kind of guide your eye on where the light and shadows will fall on the miniature, so you can kind of look and be like, oh, so this whole back of this leg would be kind of dark. And you can kind of use that to guide your highlights and shadows, even with traditional painting techniques, very opaque paints. But for me, like I said, I want to go really fast, right? This is my tabletop guy. I want to get this on the battlefield as soon as possible. And I don't want to spend a lot of time. I mean, I still want it to look good, but I'm trying to minimize the amount of time. I'm not trying to get out of work. I'm just trying to get to that spot as quick as possible. So, I mean, already right there, just a thin wash of brown, and I'm getting the look. I'm getting a pretty cool look out of that. That's a little thick right there, so you can whisk that away. I really like painting tabletop stuff. It's a lot of fun. Just painting a dude, getting it done.
What was your favorite part of Lock and Load?
My gosh. I mean, obviously Iron Painter, right?
Was Lock and Load this last weekend?
Lock and Load was last week. It feels like it was
Yesterday?
8 weekends in a row.
You're being called Good Guy Dallas for doing a live stream
Good guy.
days
Dallas.
after a major convention.
I haven't even had the day off yet. What are you talking about?
I haven't either.
Not, I don't think any of
No,
it.
no days off.
No. We left Lock and Load. We all came right to work.
Roll in and roll out.
I'm totally taking tomorrow off.
Yeah, me too.
I'm hoping.
Yes, Fernando. This is in fact the Wanderer. This is Dallas's Wanderer, so not the studio one. He has done a couple conversions, which he'll probably get into
Right.
here shortly. But for now, he's just doing a quick wash of Guncore Brown.
Guncore Brown.
Guncore Brown.
This is my guy, so I call him the meanderer. he doesn't.
The Ambler.
He's the he's the saunterer. He likes to saunter places to and fro. Let's make these. Does he have gloves? You know what? I'm gonna just make it all gloves. I'm not gonna give him fingers.
Looks like gloves.
I can get away with that. Like it's tabletop. I can kind of get away with that. I can fake it. It's good. It's cool.
Well, and you can always add shading to it to give it that slightly different brown color.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do some little glazes. People have been asking about that technique because I showed it a couple times, and like taking one color, painting everything one color, and then doing like a glaze to give it like a differential shift in tone, so it looks different. It looks like you did an extra step when you did an extra step, but it looks like you did a lot of extra steps when all you did was one quick extra step. I should have brought up my Deathless. I finished my Deathless that I was working on at Lock and Load. He's down on my desk.
Just remember to show it off to Valerie, and we'll put it up a little bit later.
Dude, that guy is so metal. Like,
Would you say he's deathless metal?
I would say he's totally Deathless. Oh my god, he is like a 1980s heavy metal album cover from a band that no one's ever heard of. and he's got he should have like a permanent lightning bolt like zapping down behind him. Like he's just so
He needs to be painted on the side of a
on
van.
the side of a van. Absolutely. Just
Word.
airbrushed on the side of a van. Because that guy's he just looks like that. He just looks like that. So while that layer is drying, I can quickly move on to my another step, another area, another element, another part, another piece of the puzzle, the process. A lot of P's in there, maybe even 3.
Oh snap!
Oh snap! We're just
Branding.
We're just gonna take some Midlund flesh and I'm gonna paint it on his face. Now his face is super shadowy. I'm gonna try to turn it to you so the camera can see it. I'm not even gonna paint the entire face with Midland flesh. I'm just gonna paint that like a little bit on the brow, the nose, and the lower part of the face. And then whenever I do my washes, it's going to accentuate that shadow because I want the meanderer to look like he's in like super dark shadow, right? I want him to have that feel. I'll put a little Guncore Brown on the outside edges of that.
Carl was asking if you ever use an airbrush on your dudes.
Yes, I do. Primarily for base coats. Man, if you get a colossal, like nothing is going to save you more time than doing your colossal gargantuan base coats with an airbrush. You just get that thing put together and whip out the airbrush and just lay that base coat down on the colossal. You know, you got your Victor. You know, you throw down some red. You got your Blightbringer. You just throw down that blight skin tone, and then you can just go from there. You know, you can put in your shadows if you want. I don't really use it for shadows and highlights, but you could totally do that, and it just gets you going. It just helps speed up the process, right? I was playing those gloves. We talked about the gloves, and then I forgot to do anything with them at all. Let's do that backpack as well. I just want to get all this painted, just some tones on there.
He's got a little friend on his backpack too.
He has a little crow friend. I've been trying to make friends with the crows in the parking lot.
That's Valerie's domain.
I understand that, but I'm still trying to make friends with them. Like Valerie can control them. Like Valerie is like one with the crows. I just want the crows to like be like, "Yo, dog, what up?" And I'm like,
So-
"Nothing," you know. I'm not asking him to do anything. I just want him to be like,
About to go get some Arby's. You should follow this car.
yeah, I feed the crows all the time. Like, if I take lunch out of my car, like I totally just throw stuff to them, and they're like, they know. And then like the goal would be like someday when I'm like in my dire need, like
The swarm will
the
come.
swarm
for
will
you.
come and they'll be like, you fed us. I'm like, thanks, bro. And they're like, no problem. Like that's it.
You'll be like, thanks, bro. And they'll be like,
My eyes. I thought we were friends. Let's do this pouch.
time to get Liefeld.
There's only one pouch.
Oh, yeah, that's super not Liefeld.
Okay, there's two.
Oh,
Oh, there's a belt buckle. Oh, there's a pouch. There we go. All right. Man, this guy's almost done. Let's check it off. All right, I'm going to dig up my grave digger denim.
oh, yeah.
Maybe. Where'd it go?
Maybe.
Brendan stole it. And tell mom.
Is that Sherry in this case?
In this case.
Or is that Cruzy?
Or Cruzy. Cruzy.
Ian was asking, in general, what flesh tone are you aiming for with the Grimkin for your Grimkin?
For my Grimkin, fast.
Fast.
I mean, that's a broad question in the Grimkin. Grimkin are a diverse group of individuals.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's a more diverse group in Nine Kingdoms currently for War Machine
Also,
Wars.
in some of the previous ones where you've been doing the studio models, you've introduced a lot of red and green into their skin tones.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm trying to keep them just desaturated for
Yeah.
the studio. That's been the main goal for studio stuff. Grimkin is just desaturating it, but definitely having that, trying to get a little otherworldly feel to him, like
Oh, sure,
putting in those
yeah.
weird skin tones, putting in like a little secret colors just to give them a little off. But a lot of them are very typical human skin tones. Like even the piggybacks are very just desaturated human skin tone, which really kind of makes them creepy in my eyes. Or like the paws, the paws of the gorehound.
Mm-hmm.
That's straight up human flesh skin tones.
Well, yeah, because they have those weird human hands.
Yeah,
Yeah. Those things are so creepy.
yeah, it's real bothersome. All right.
So
This
this
is
one was
fine.
just straight up primed white. Like it wasn't primed black.
No,
then
it's
white,
prime black. You can see the black on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bottom side.
to get kind of that sketch style look.
But then I really kicked up the white on this.
So there you go, Charles. There's the answer to your question.
And there's a little chunk of something in there. So, it's awesome that this P3 putty dries so hard you can kind of
Cut at it.
Yeah, you can really give it a go. All right, so I just put a little sickly skin on that shirt, and I want to kick it over with a little. Let's do Bastion Gray. Now I'm going to two brush this, but watch how I do this. This isn't studio. So brushes in the mouth, holding it for easy access. I'm just going to paint a little bit in those shadows and give it a quick whip. And right in those shadows. Just because I want to tone away that black in the shirt. I want it to be very gray, like a good white shirt should be. This guy's got his dress shirt on. He's ready to go to.
to the Grimkin fanciest of balls.
He's like, guys, we have a meeting today, don't you know?
So Vincent Palo is 100% correct. Don't bring your brushes. Just keep practicing. You'll get
That's
there.
right.
Like just hanging out in the same room as Dallas while he's been like doing the P3 hobby videos and stuff like that. My painting game has gone way up.
It's like osmosis.
It's well, yes, Also, there's just the fact that the video series has a lot of really useful tips and things that kind of helped me unlearn some bad habits I had. And as soon as I got rid of those, like, it's kind of amazing what you
It
can
just
do.
helps, right?
Yeah.
It's just taking the time out and like listening and practicing and being okay with your mistakes and being okay with the way you want to paint. Like, don't let anybody tell you how to paint. Like, I'm just giving you tips. I'm just giving you some initial guidance, but there is no wrong way to paint. Like, if you got some weird technique that you like doing, like if you're like, well, I use toothpicks and look what it like it works. Like, use toothpicks. Um, whatever technique works best for you is the right technique. Um, I'm just here to give you guidance and inspiration, and just I mean, me personally, I like painting with people, so you're actually helping me. You're here for me.
And then Pontus,
That's
this
what
is
I'm getting
the
at.
Wanderer, but it is Dallas's the Wanderer, which could be the Saunterer, the Shambler, the Shuffler,
The boogier.
The
the Boogier,
matriculator.
the Matriculator.
Whoa!
Whoa, Tony's got big words.
Oh, just another coated gravedigger denim. I just like saying gravedigger denim.
It has a good cadence to it.
Gravedigger denim. So good. Such a good color. I love this color.
Florian asks, have you personally tried the sketch style, Dallas?
No, I have not.
No?
I just this. Like, I don't want to take that extra step. I'm lazy. Cause like that sketch styles are where you come in and you like use a black and white to kind of put in your. We did an article, right? We just had that article on No Quarter by Matt DiPietro talking about it, and you come in there with you do your zenith highlight, but then you come in with black and white and you accentuate the shadows and the highlights.
Yeah,
And I'm too lazy.
fair. And then can we, for a moment, pop up the colors that have been used so far? So the Guncore Brown,
Oh, I'm
the
all over
Midland Flesh, the Sickly Skin, and the Gravedigger Denim so
Sorry,
far.
I've been watching Dallas paint, and I forgot to bring up the colors.
Dallas, are you going to Gen Con, and are you going to be doing classes?
I'm going to Gen Con. I'm pretty sure. I was told I was going to Gen Con. I'm pretty sure I'm going to Gen Con.
I'm pretty certain you're going to Gen
I'm
Con.
going to
And by like pretty certain, I mean I know you're going to Gen Con.
I'm going to Gen Con. I will be at Gen Con. We're going to do, I believe we have some hangout spots and some kind of like neat
Oh, really?
process of getting a battle box painted kind of thing going on. I'm not quite sure the full details of that, but I will be at Gen Con. I will have a paintbrush in my hand, a song in my heart, and a pancake waiting for me in my room.
Where are the good pancakes at Gen Con? We're
Man,
going to
I
need
don't
to know this.
We're gonna have to find some.
Yeah, we're gonna have to investigate because I haven't found one yet.
Are we saying that? Are we saying we need
Formula P3 pancake
Formula
party.
P3 pancake party? Like,
Yup.
yo, whoever's going to Gen Con with us,
And
tell
if
me where-
anybody knows a good place to get pancakes
Let us
in
know.
Indianapolis
We'll
near,
go get
near the
pancakes.
convention center, let us know.
we'll go. I'll go. I can't speak for everybody. I'll go,
I am doing that.
but I don't think you can keep me away. All right, I'm looking at this guy.
And Charles, he pretty much dusted like the white all around. It looks like.
It was sort of a 90-degree blast, like 90 degrees, right in at him, and just nice and light. And then I came in 45 degrees around the top, halo, and then knowing that the hood and the crow and the fire is a very central spot, I gave it a little concentration there.
Oh, Erin with the clutch win. She says wild eggs on Delaware.
Oh,
Delaware
here we go.
Street, that is.
Let's-
So,
let's do this.
all right.
We need to do this. We need to do the Formula P3 presents.
Pancake
Get your
paint
paint
jam.
on.
Pancake party.
Pancake party.
Pancake party.
Yeah, because we don't know if we can paint there.
Yeah, fair enough.
We can talk about painting though.
But there
talk
will be
about
pancakes.
Yeah, there will be pancakes and there will be discussion of painting.
We can totally do this.
So I mean,
Are-
I guess that's still a paint jam.
Let's still paint jam.
Yeah,
I've
why not?
totally had paint jams where no one painted, but just talked about painting.
And what do you got going on right there? Is that the sanguine base?
So I put a little sanguine base up on his little tie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm making a mess everywhere. This is why you need that second brush. I just use that second brush, and I just clean up any messes I make. Because
Is it?
I'm messy.
Are you doing a wash
Calcite.
with the? This is the calcite.
This is
flush.
calcite flush wash over top of the Guncore Brown. You can already see what that's doing to the model. It's making that brown pop.
Oh, my homie Nate Brooks just joined the stream to watch. Hi, Nate.
Homie.
And Valerie's in here too. It looked like.
Hi, Val. Sorry, Val. Don't get mad at me, Val. I made her work extra. That was my fault. I'm apologizing publicly, apparently. Because that's the right thing to do.
So I think earlier, Dallas, we were talking about lock and load, and that your favorite event was the Iron Painter.
Dude. So, okay, let's talk about Lock and Load. Iron Painter, totally dope. If you watched, I totally got to bring my prototype that I've been working on. Y'all know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That Formula P3 weathering widget prototype.
Mm-hmm.
That thing was dope.
Can you give people like a quick, what is Iron Painter for anybody who might not know?
So Iron Painter is a speed painting challenge that goes on Saturday at Lock and Load. You come up to the P3 Hobby Lounge, which was located on the 4th floor of the Maidenbauer Center, July 14th through 16th. And we gave you a model in 30 minutes to paint it, which is awesome. And then we had a little painting contest, right? So Brendan and I judged those, and the top 3 got to challenge the Iron Painter. This year, the Iron Painter was me. And
Wait, it was who?
me.
You.
Me. I was the Iron
Isn't that how you end up getting fired?
That's how I've been fired so many times.
Yeah, but it's usually like, was it Schick that was firing you, or was it Cruzy?
Last year it was Cruzy, which
Iron
could
Painter,
actually be legal.
Iron Painter traditionally ends up with people being fired.
You know?
Yeah, and yes, as Kern just pointed out, this is the Wanderer, which is one of the warlocks for the new Grimkin faction that came out days ago.
Literal days.
Literally days ago.
Literally, he's a babe.
And yes, Nate, we are having all the fun because this is kind of the best part of the job.
I'm having a ton of fun. So they challenged the Iron Painter. This year I was chosen as the Iron Painter in a painting contest again. So I think we had 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I think it was 30 minutes. And it was 3 people challenging me, and we painted some Widow's Woods models, and it was super fun.
Which one's like the Wrestler?
The Wrestler, the Tatzelworm,
Mhm,
the
mhm.
Ironback Spitter, and the what's the fourth heavy? Oh, the Swamptopus, the Swamp Whore.
Yeah, the Swamp Whore is so dope.
He's super dope. So that's my favorite part of Lock and Load. I love that part of Lock and Load.
Charles, I'm with you. I will definitely be playing a Grimkin army at some point, even if it's just for Company of Iron. But they make dope models for RPG, for any RPG.
This guy right here, man.
Yeah,
I've told
he's
everybody this is an
super good.
RPG guy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
This is an RPG model. This guy's just like this guy wanders into. It's like you're hanging out in Five Fingers and you're just like sitting at a bar. You know, your
And-
Trollkin and your dwarf and your elf are all having a beer, and this guy walks in and he sits in the corner, and you're like,
And he's got a flaming handy haversack.
yeah. You're just like, what's going on? And he sits there for a long time, and then suddenly he gets up, right? And like,
He's got a little crow friend.
fight,
Yeah,
right? Or maybe he gives you a mission. Like,
right.
this guy would totally give me a mission.
Go into the deepest parts of the forest and find me 3 shrubberies.
No.
Not just any shrubberies, but only the best will do.
This guy has a map to an Orgoth ruin or something. It's actually a trick. He's trying
An
to trick
Orgoth
you.
shrubbery.
He's trying to trick you. He's trying to make you go to the Orgoth ruin, when in reality, he's waiting for you to ambush you so he can
With some murder crows.
take your sweet loots.
Because he looks like the kind of dude that would hang out with the murder crows.
This guy totally hangs out with murder crows. So
Maybe a
real quickly,
couple of hollow men snipers up on the ridge.
What paint are you using now, Dallas?
coal black, just a little coal black down in them pants. Can hollow men snipe? Are they that accurate? I know they have CRA, right? Yeah. But that doesn't seem...
I don't know, but maybe now that Holden is going to be a Grimkin model.
Maybe he'll be a sniper. That'd
Maybe.
be pretty cool.
Speaking of Holden, of all of the live streaming we did this weekend, of all the things that we put out on broadcast, that Battle of Boars Gate,
Oh,
I think
so
was
cool.
one of my favorites. That was so fun to watch. Like every time Matt Getz grabbed the microphone and said, "Behold!" I just like got all excited
was
to
like,
hear what was coming next. Yeah.
All right, I'm also going to take that coal black. Am I going fast enough? Like, does people
Yeah,
feel
you're
like I'm
good,
speed
dude.
painting this guy? I feel like I'm speed painting this guy. Put a little coal black in the shadows of my sanguine base here.
We all know my opinion's the only one that matters, and I think you're doing just fine.
I feel like I'm going pretty fast. I want to be going fast.
Carl asks if you can paint the crow as a pigeon.
Oh, don't do that. Don't,
You can, Carl. Your army, your way.
yeah, Carl, you do it. I'm trying to friend the crows. I think they'll take offense if I'm like, "Yo, crow, look what I did. I painted you like a pigeon, lol."
And then, yeah, the crows will come after you.
That's when they eat my face.
Yeah.
And that's when I don't get saved in the far future when I'm in my most dire moment.
Yeah, I don't think Valerie was in the channel when we were talking about you also befriending the crows.
I'm trying my best. I just want to be saved by them. I think that's all it is. It's just like, I want to be like I said, my dire moment,
And the crows come.
and the crows come and save me all clutch, right? So it's like this clutch saved by crows.
Well, worst case scenario, like, just have Valerie help. She can help make that happen. They are her friends.
Just put in a good word for you.
And Ed just joined us as well.
Morning, Ed.
Good morning.
Valerie, in fact, said, "Stick with me, kid. I'll hook you up with some crows."
Oh, thanks. That's all I needed to hear today.
Right? That's all. That. Boom. Day. 100%
Yeah,
better.
I can call it halfy, right? Let's go to Arby's.
Well, that is the typical celebratory post. Get your paint on.
It's so true.
Feast.
It's like every Thursday. It's like let's get our paint on. Sweet, that went pretty good. What's next, guys? Oh yeah,
Regret.
roast beef.
Delicious regret.
I'm gonna use some Thamar black, and I'm gonna paint in his. He's got like a little vest, so he's got a vest and a jacket and a shirt, right? And
Mhm.
so of course, I want that jacket or that vest to be black. I think the
Well,
vest
because
looks
when
really
one
cool.
wanders, one needs layers. You never know where you're going to end up.
Well, yeah, I mean, he can get to a place where he's going, like maybe he's a caller, maybe he's like a gentleman caller, and he gets there and he takes his little jacket off, and now he's got his like super fly white shirt, black vest. He looks very handsome, very dapper.
Gentleman collar.
Yeah, the ladies swoon. So this is just I'm gonna paint the buckles here, black. What you got, Tony?
I was gonna say, I'm just having some thoughts.
I can
and-
hear Tony thinking. That's what
Right? You weren't even looking anywhere near him, and you could just hear the chunk, chunk, chunk,
He's
chunk,
like,
clunk.
I got
grinding.
something to say.
So, the Wanderer clearly wanders, and I know on the table he has rules that allow him to bounce back and forth between different roadways.
Yep.
Yeah, a little bit.
When
Yep.
so how much walking does he actually have to do?
Oh, that's a good point. Like,
Like fluff wise, how far can he actually travel?
is he
up
really
there?
just the teleporter?
And yeah, does he actually have to move?
But he's still walking.
Because if you,
It only
do
works
you-
if he's actually walking.
So he's walking and then he's just like popping in and out of
Yeah.
existence. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So like
I'll
each
buy.
step takes him to a different
to
place.
a different place. Okay.
All right,
that
I'm
works.
in.
I'm in. All right.
Fair.
That's headcanon anyway.
That
And
works.
seems,
All
and,
right,
seems,
that's
and
fair.
seems
That-
supported by
that works
by
for me
the
because
fiction.
because I was thinking if I had that ability, like I may never walk again. I would just link
Well, yeah, he
myself
can't-
there. But if
He can't do
walking-
it stationary.
if
He actually
walking
has to.
is the action that triggers. That makes sense.
He must gracefully fall forward.
Headcanon counts in this room. Let me look around and see who's in this room. Oh yeah, headcanon counts in this room.
Valerie, I think if he had a Fitbit, that like the Fitbit would like lose its mind.
Wait.
it would just be like, I don't even know.
Am I counting steps or distance? I don't know.
right?
He would
Because the
just-
little GPS in it would
Yeah,
just be
GPS
like,
would just freak out.
oh, it would just lose its little.
The
Fitbit
answer cannot
mind.
be one. It can't have just been one.
You ever tried to use your GPS like downtown
You
Seattle?
went 76 miles in one step. I'm out of here.
Have you ever tried to use your GPS like downtown Seattle? Like you're in between all
Yeah,
those buildings? It
yeah.
has no idea where you're
No,
at.
it just kind of looks at you and shrugs.
I'm like, I really need to get to this space, and I know it's maybe this direction. Like, can you help me out? And it's like, no, dog, you're off.
And yes, Danny, it's one of the Grimkin warlocks. Dallas is painting his wanderer,
The meanderer.
the ambler.
I'm just putting some black. I got the black out, so I'm gonna black some stuff around. And you can see what that little black is doing. It's kind of breaking stuff up and making it more distinct.
Yeah, showing that there are individual pieces going on.
Yep. I usually call this dark lining because I usually don't use black, but for this, black it is. What?
The most metal of colors, outside of deathless metal.
Outside of all the battles.
Outside of blood.
that was very Slayer of you.
Is that the hierarchy? It's metal, then blood, then black.
No, other way around. So black is pretty metal.
It's pretty metal.
Deathless metal is more
The
metal.
most
and
metal.
then blood is as metal as you get.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Because it's got iron in it.
That's true.
Tastes like copper. Super, it's all about like death and dismemberment. So super
That's
metal.
pretty metal.
I'm
So
totally
next
in.
time we do a super metallics video, I
Gonna need to get some biohazard bags.
I don't think Brent's going to approve that one.
Hey gang, Dallas here from Privateer Press, and today we're going to go over realistic blood effects.
This one's gonna hurt.
Stunt painter. Oh, why do I have to be the stunt painter?
Oh man, I got a little.
John, this is why we keep you here.
Let's talk about this. So I got like a little extra hair on the tip of my brush. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cut that off.
Can't see it.
I know, it's really, really hard to see. Can anybody see that right there?
Can you do it on the palette?
Can we do it on the palette?
Yeah,
Maybe.
do it on the cutting mat.
Can you see that little
Sorry, I need to
hair?
talk into my mic here.
Can we see that little hair right there? Can you see that? Man, that's really hard to see. I'm just going to lay that down. I'm going to use a sharp X-Acto and I'm just going to grab it.
Brush
Boom.
maintenance.
Done.
Nailed it.
Now I got it. Now I can paint.
And yes, as Ed pointed out, you just don't ask Brent.
That's-
You just do it.
Ask forgiveness, not permission.
It's always bittersweet because when we come up with ideas and I bring them to Brent typically because I'm afraid of getting in trouble, but invariably the no answer comes, and you might have been able to just do it ahead of time.
Yeah.
Ask for forgiveness.
We didn't ask if we could drill into a pig in the conference room. We just
did it.
I'm going to be honest.
Oh, Ed.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't ask Brent about, weathering widgets.
Oh yeah, no, that is a direct to Matt question. 'Cause
That's where that
Matt
went.
is like all thumbs up all the time.
I was like, I was kind of thinking, but I wasn't real sure. And like I was
Do
being,
it.
and I was being all like, I don't know. Is it a good idea? And he just stared at me like, Why isn't
Dog,
this
why aren't
done?
you at Home Depot right now?
All right, fair enough. Oh, got a weathering widget.
Yeah, speaking of fun things, all of the
Still in prototype phases.
the mini crate molds.
Oh, that's going to be so much fun. Coming up with like ridiculous ways to destroy those after the production run.
You know, sometimes we talk about, you know, Privateer Press is just full of awesome ideas and people talking about cool stuff, and sometimes things get brought up and you're just like, oh yeah, that'd be so much fun, oh my god, and then people say them on stage at a keynote and you're like,
oh, it's
oh,
happening.
that's a real thing now.
Yeah.
All right.
Like we thought that was just for funsies. Oh snap! No takebacks.
Oh, I'm getting my hands on one of those molds.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's on.
If we had an employee of the month, that should be the reward. You get to be the one to destroy the mini crate mold.
Go get your pyro technical license.
Matt Getz has one.
Does he really? That's actually not surprising at all.
And it was funny
It's
because
really
like I'm
not.
at Lock and Load and like I was talking to someone else about it. Matt was standing right there and I just turned to him. I'm like, "You already have yours, don't you?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Of course you do." As Mallory just said, "Of course he does."
Of course. I mean, yeah. Come on.
Yeah, like duh.
Duh.
He was talking about his belt the other day because he's been losing a little bit of weight, you know, getting a little fitter, looking good, and he had to put a new hole into his belt. And I'm like, I refuse to believe that you don't have an awl, let alone various awls of various sizes. He's like, oh, I totally do. I just wasn't anywhere near him, so I had to use my knife and cut a hole. And I'm like,
Which is
So
a very Matt Getz.
Matt Getz is basically a real life Ron Swanson to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Like if you imagine like someone having like all the tools, knowing exactly how to use them, and the proper care and maintenance of them.
Yeah.
That'd be Matt.
And can recite the history of each of those tools throughout various epochs and eras.
Oh, and then Carl was just asking, I've seen this question come up a couple times, but I knew you were going to get to it later, but we might as well hit it. What are your conversions on this model?
All it is, man, I should have brought those. I didn't bring them with me today. So I sculpted the fire on the back here. This is all sculpted fire by me. I'm not
P3 aluminum putty.
P3 aluminum putty, which is really hard and really firm once it dries, but it's very, very soft to work with, and I really like it. It gives me a really good look. I'm not the best sculptor, but I think it works fine, and that's all that matters for your army. Also, my bases that I've been doing on other Grimkin models, so it's a putty and then hand cut plastic card stone bits, and then some pumice gel to give it texture. And we were talking about his tokens, his ability to like teleport earlier, right? With the as the water. Instead of using the tokens that come with him,
Yeah.
I actually, because they won't match my bases.
Sure.
So I made bases, and like, trying to get my hands, and where like, in the center, I have like all my stones like erupting like this, and I'm sculpting fire coming out of it. So I'm imagining like
He's
teleporting.
leaving flaming footsteps.
Or he's like
which is what
teleporting
someone
to
was
these
just like,
bursts of
yeah.
fire, like he when he comes into existence, he's like he's just bursting into
Dope.
flames.
But yeah, so Nathan was like, did you consider adding flaming footsteps to the model as part of like the theme? Technically, kind of.
It's there, but it's in the tokens, not on the model.
Right. And then let's see here where we go. Erin had asked she had said that she didn't see the Wanderer for sale on the website. The Wanderer is part of the August releases, so you will see him next month.
Soon enough, you'll have your Wanderer.
And then Dallas, I don't know if it's possible at that angle, but can we bring him a little closer to the camera? Dope.
Right.
Quick little vanity shot there.
So this guy's almost done. Like literally, he is almost done.
Charles is like, if Ghost Rider had to hitchhike.
So I'm gonna take a little jack bone. Tony's gonna fix my thing because I didn't put it in the proper spot. I don't know.
I will tell you in just a second.
I'm gonna go Guncore Brown and some Sickly Skin.
Yes.
Seriously, if you've been watching, you know Sickly Skin's like my favorite color right now.
Because you can use it on kind of everything.
Yeah, it's kind of fantastic.
It's not just for skin tones. You
Your
can use it on
models
like
following?
you can use it kind of like you did earlier. You were using it on his shirt.
Now I'm gonna mix it into Guncore Brown and do a little highlighting on this You know what? I might do something else to this leather here in a minute instead. Let's do this. Let's take some of that Cossite Flesh Wash.
Jackson Wood in the channel.
Jackson Wood, listening to Dennis on the Facebook Live. Get your paint on. Jackson Wood.
I don't have theme music. Why does Jackson get theme music?
We can take it from him.
I think technically that's Dallas's theme music that he gets to
I did say
modify
my name.
at will. Yeah.
I was told that all my theme songs sound the same. That'd make a terrible jingle writer.
I don't know. I just heard you sing. I think that person mixed up their definition of terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's because they all sound the same. It's like I got one tone or one composition. So I'm gonna put some Thamar Black into the Cossite Flesh Wash and do some very quick blended washes in the shadows here to darken him up. And blended washes, what are you talking about? That's literally what I'm doing. I'm just shoving it into a shadow and sort of loosey-goosey blending it out without any really care or about the blend. I just want to give some shadow and depth to some of these areas. So, like, if it's not a perfect blend, whatevs. I'm just getting some shadows in there.
It doesn't matter. His cloak is dirty.
You can actually, and it's kind of neat. Like with leather, leather's a natural material, and it's imperfect, and so you can actually use a bad blend to kind of get imperfections, and then you go back later with your highlights and shadows and increase that imperfection to make it look like, you know, cruddy leather. Now, I'm not going to spend the time to do that on this guy, but I've definitely, that's definitely been something I've done before. I want to really darken up these boots. I want that, like, work boot look, like that brown black. And of course, whenever I'm done with this guy, I have to dull coat him because of all these washes and glazes.
Mm-hmm.
So to get rid of that little bit of sheen.
Well, and to protect it, right?
Yeah,
those layers
and
are
to
kind of
protect it.
thin, so they'll come off with the skin oils a little
Yeah,
easier.
they're pretty tough, or it's not very tough, is what I meant to say. So yeah, definitely. Plus, I like to use dull coat as a way to increase my metallosity, as we've talked about before in the past in other videos. It's all about increasing metallosity. Whoa!
He gone.
Whoa!
He just said, "I'm out." Wanderer wandered off.
That's like a bounce, boy. He's like, "What up?" Oh man!
This is why we can't have nice things.
Do
I
you, have
just
any,
totally broke my wanderer.
do you have glue handy?
I do not.
All right. I'll be right back.
Check, baby, check, baby. Yeah, I got a solution now. It's all good.
Mistakes happen.
Womp, womp.
Look at that.
Boom.
Fixed.
Nailed it.
Little backpack broke off, but that's all right.
No, his little crow friend.
Crow friend. Mistakes happen.
Yeah.
Things
Valerie,
happen.
please tell the crows that,
fine art
that
of
was
fixing
not
mistakes.
intentional and that no harm was intended to his little crow friend.
The crow is fine. That sounds like one of those like codes in like an old movie. Like the eagle has landed. The crow is fine.
Oh, Mike, we won't edit this out. That's stuff that just happens. Recovering from mistakes and whoopses is part of painting.
Raise your hand if you've never dropped a miniature while painting.
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
that's-
no
that's the-
hands in this room.
No hands in this room. That
None.
happens. Why would we edit that out? No way, man. That's life is imperfect, but it always finds a way. So
Valerie said that she'll try, but they are clearly displeased.
what? Wait, what? No, I didn't do it on purpose.
So right now you've just got the Thamar in black.
It's Thamar Black and Cosite Flesh Wash. And it
Okay.
makes a really nice color. A really rich brown.
Yeah, I'm seeing that starting to kind of come through. It's kind of dope. I'm like, I've got some stuff with some Mage Hunter green and some leathers I've got to paint here pretty soon.
Yeah, this is a good color.
I'm stealing this. I have all primed up. I have my handful of gun mages for Company of Iron that I'm
Yeah.
getting ready to go. And I
Oh,
want to do
yeah.
all leather dusters.
I saw those.
No mixing medium this time, I don't think, Steve.
None. Ha!
Because he's doing a lot of washes. Won't that thicken it up too much, or?
It would make it sticky, and you could use it. I'm just not. Everybody gives me crap.
Valerie says just give the crows an offering today at lunchtime, and we'll be good.
Done.
Hey, Dallas,
I mean-
can you slide that mini over just a touch to the left, other side?
Oh, he's so dope looking.
We might have
The
to
Gravedigger denim actually really looks good.
Yeah, and look what we can do here. We can take this Cosite Flesh Wash and Thamar Black and actually shade that Gravedigger denim,
Oh snap!
and it works really good.
So yes, Corey. At this point, it is just those two paints and some water.
Yep, 2 paints in a water, or wash and water, 2 paints in water. Yeah. So that's it. That's all it is. Boom, shakalaka. Let's go ahead and put this guy back on the base.
You got your glue.
I got it. Tony, I can feel Tony getting antsy about.
No, he's just taking this time to get professional with the placement. He's like, Dallas is distracted.
You guys know me way too well now.
Corey has to use tap water or distilled diluted spring water. What do you use?
Tap.
Yep,
water.
just straight tap water. Now, granted, if you live in a place where there's where you have like hard water or something like that, you may want to spring
Yeah,
for
don't use tap
some
water from
regular
Flint,
bottled
Michigan.
water. But if your tap water is drinkable, it should be fine.
Yep. That's all I use.
Like, for example, my lady lives on the other side of the state, and the water over where she's at right now is not good for painting.
How's that?
Nailed it.
Good.
All right, I'll put the crow on later.
The crow is going to get special treatment.
He will get special treatment. Whoa, excuse me. Whoops. This is what happens, man. Like you're painting models, and sometimes it happens. It happens to everybody. So don't let a mistake get in the way of your enjoyment or your progress. Just keep painting. It's just part of it. Nobody here. I definitely didn't get upset that what's going on. It's just like, well, there you go. That's part of the process. The other day I was painting something, a studio model actually, and I had the paintbrush, and I went to reach for something else, and I just whipped it right across my model. So we're talking a studio painted model that needed to be painted very soon, and it was okay. It's just like, yep, there you go. That's what happens sometimes. So I quickly grabbed my second brush, which is always in my mouth, always at the ready, and I dipped it in water and I gave that little swash of scrub and cleaned it right up. Went in, touched up the area a little bit with some paint later, and it was all good. No big deal. No harm, no foul, right? So, all good. It's just part of painting. It's part of the process.
What you got going on there?
This is our base color, which was our Guncore Brown. And I mixed a little sickly skin. I mixed this earlier, and we kind of skipped this. We kind of skipped around because I wanted to do that dark black area.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is just that, and I'm just going to put in some broad highlights, nothing too fancy. Just kind of give some highlights to all this brown. You know, and I am two brushing. We got a video about this, so, but also I'm just going to put some little texture so you can watch my brush here just kind of dance and just kind of give that little texture to that leather. Little dots and jags and lines and creases and crevices and all that little personality that leather wants to have.
There was in the Mage Hunter Green video, or actually not the Mage Hunter Green, but when you're painting up the Arcanist in the leather video, I particularly liked. I had never seen a technique of doing little dashes perpendicular to most of the brush strokes to have like little crinkly leather bits.
Yeah, it really brings out that leather, right? It like makes it feel like leather. It just gives it life. You gotta remember, leather is just skin. That's just skin. And so if you look at skin, skin has texture, lots and lots of texture. You know, from little pimple imperfections to, you know, moles and, you know, all the little things. Oh, look, see that? Little chip on my paint. That's okay. We'll fix it later. It's not a big deal. All those little things that make skin look like skin. You can add that stuff to leather to some extent and make it feel like leather, because that's what leather is, skin.
So Steve joined us a little late and was asking about the paint process for the leather. At this point, I'd probably actually just recommend to him watching this video, and Dallas started on the leather pretty much right at the beginning of the video, and then shaped it up throughout the course. So there's a lot there. I don't know if I could condense it for you.
This guy is so close to being done now at this point. I have to glue his little backpack back on.
And we've only been working on it for about an hour.
Yeah, like it's a Warcaster. So
About 50 minutes. Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a little extra love. Like that little tassel worm. You also saw me paint that little tassel worm. That took like what 20 minutes, I think, on live.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, but that's like a little tassel worm. It's not Warlock. This is my Warlock, so I want him to look pretty dope. I'm gonna give him a little extra lovey loves.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, I'll spend a little extra time on. He might be a full 2 hours once I put the glow effect in his eyes and in the crow's eyes.
What color are you using now?
This is that same color, that black and Cosite flesh wash. I'm putting it on skin.
Just because he's got that hood on and it's all shadowy and
Yeah, I'm just kicking that up. Just accentuating that look. So I'm going to take that highlight color for leather now, and I'm going to paint the straps of his stick with it in like a glaze fashion. Oops, don't get that on there. You know what? That was the highlight to leather, so I'm just going to kind of give it a quick blend, and it makes a highlight for leather again. A mistake becomes a not mistake. This is hard to do here because of the way we have to set up the cameras. I'd flip him over at this point. hanging upside down, but I can't do that. So I have to be super careful.
Shannon was mentioning that he hoped that, that this program was on later in the day so that, they could paint with you when they get home. To which I just say, watch the video on YouTube when it's on a little bit later, probably tomorrow, and yeah.
Yeah, you should be
Yeah.
able
Boom,
to.
there you go.
You should be able to come back to our Facebook page and watch the video after we're done. Watch it again, and we'll post it on YouTube.
Yep. This just happens to be the best time of the day and the week for us to do this, where Dallas can actually get away for a couple minutes to hang out and paint with folks. And, well, it's paint o'clock somewhere.
I gotta go home sometime, guys. Sorry.
It's also our subtle hint that everyone should quit their jobs and stay home and paint.
Just paint.
Just paint all the time.
Okay, strap is
But,
done.
Tony, if you and I quit our jobs,
Just
how
stay
would this
home,
get
paint.
out there?
Well, no, we don't, because we get to paint at work.
Sometimes. I haven't gotten to in a while. I've been way too busy.
Lyle didn't have you for that secret project?
No.
Oh, man.
It's like, haha, I did it.
There's secret. I think there's more. You should go talk to Lyle.
I am now intrigued, and we'll have to speak with Lyle about what this secret project might be.
I'm doing one.
Oh, now I'm like super curious. But like, I'm also the last person that people in this building want to tell secrets to. It's literally my job to not keep my mouth shut. I think I can hold 3 secrets at a time.
Yeah.
Is that it? Is that your maximum?
Well, yeah, because too many more, and you start to like wonder, like, wait, did we tell people about this yet, or like, do I have to like still keep it in like my pocket? Like, this sucks.
Yeah. I end up having a lot of secrets as well, and I'm like,
I think I have a
if we didn't make
spreadsheet.
a video about it, I don't say anything.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good
Well,
one.
yeah, but on your end there, it's kind of easy. Whereas, like the different meetings and the different times I'm like having to hang out with Dev to know what the timetables are for things and so on and so forth. I basically have to keep a spreadsheet of secrets.
You should go.
Sounds like an RPG campaign. Spreadsheet of secrets.
Oh, bleh.
Harry Potter and the
That
spreadsheet of
sounds
secrets.
terrible.
That sounds like the most boring thing ever.
All right, guys. The man at the tavern has given you a map and has led you to the spreadsheet of secrets.
Unfortunately, your version of Excel won't open this file. You must quest to find the update. I would just leave. I would just nope right out. This is your quest. What say you? I'm out.
So on the straps, I painted them with the highlight color of the leather. Right? Because like a lot of like helping paint fast is kind of reusing colors.
Mm-hmm.
So
One of the things I'm noticing as you're spinning them around, like so that combination of the black and the calcite flesh wash is kind of making a cool effect. Like as he spins into different parts of the light, it actually gives a little bit of a purple hue.
yep,
That's dope.
it's a dope color. It's a super good color. So yes, yeah. So but what I'm doing here is because this was my highlight color is now on the wraps. I'm using Great Coat Gray to shade it.
Is it straight gray coat gray, or is it mixed in with
No,
the base
it's
colors?
just straight Great Coat Gray.
And then just blending it out there.
Yeah, it's like a wash. It's really thin.
Yeah.
And I'm just using a little blending to kind of shape it a little bit.
And folks, while we've got just a little bit of time left, if you have any of those last minute questions before we have to wrap up for the day, make sure to throw them out there.
Ask me your questions. Ask me your questions. Any your question, I'll answer it. See, that one was different.
Delightful.
coat gray. Gray coat gray. Gray coat gray makes things look gray.
Ryan asks, do you use any undershading when you start a model?
No, I mean, the Zenith highlights kind of like undershading, but not typically. I do not. Nothing wrong with that technique. Makes it, if it works for you, kick it.
What is your... I don't think anyone has a favorite Chef Boyardee product. Charles was asking what is your favorite Chef Boyardee product, and I think the correct answer is none.
I'm going to say raviolis.
Ravioli,
Okay, you know what? Sometimes
ravioli,
you
show
need them
me the
raviolis.
formioli.
Yeah, sometimes you do need them, and you're just like, oh, I'm going to hate myself, but I need this in my face.
I mean, it's nothing. It's nothing I've got in my cupboard. I'm just saying, if I was somewhere and a plate of Chef Boyardee ravioli showed up, yeah, no problems.
Word. And then Riker's Iron keeps asking, but I've avoided saying anything because the answer is we don't know, and that is, will the Grimkin get a gargantuan?
I don't know.
Don't know.
That's not my department. I gotta keep track of my department. Can't keep track of that department, especially that department.
Right?
Who can keep track of those guys?
The department for keeping track of those guys.
The department.
Oh
that
wait,
would
we
just,
don't have that.
Yeah. Who?
I think the closest thing we get to oversight is either Jason Martin.
No.
or
I mean,
Sherry.
I'm just meaning that I'm making a comment about development.
Right.
Who can keep track of those guys? Have you met those guys?
Word. And then Jeremy was asking.
I
how
mean,
you make
Hungerford
the,
basically just does what he wants. He states that.
Yeah, there's no pretty much. He just does. And then Jeremy was asking how you make the handle that you're using there, and the simple answer is it is a primer cap tacked onto a mic stand with the model double-sided taped right on.
Double-sided tape. Double-sided tape.
Although the only important part of that for you painters at home is the cap itself that holds the
not
miniature.
the mic stand. The mic stand is just so that Dallas can actually, like make Tony not lose his mind and keep the model in the camera frame.
It's true.
He does not use the mic stand at any other time.
Never. Actually, the mic stand drives me insane.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Dallas, what's a rough percentage of time? Well, I guess percentage is probably a bad thing, but you just paint that miniature 360 degrees all over, right? Upside down all the time?
Yes. Constantly. Flip that sucker upside down. Get to whatever angle you need to get to the parts of the model you want to paint. Flip the model upside down. Flip it to the side. Do what you got to do. Get your model painted.
And then Ryan was asking, how much do you thin the paints to not cover up your your Zenith shading?
Well, for this technique, man, that's tough. I live in a rainforest, Ryan. I live in a rainforest.
It's very humid here.
So, what I say won't work for you. Maybe I don't know where you live.
You just have to practice.
But like a magic bullet number ratio water to paint won't work. I might say take your Thamar black and put in 2 drops of water, and my Thamar black is brand new, shipped from factory, and it came straight to my hand. And your Thamar black might have rolled under a shelf in a warehouse and was found 3 years later. Your water might be hard, my water might be soft. I might live somewhere where it's humid, you might live somewhere where it's dry. There's so many variations. The true answer is practice. The true answer is get your models out and just practice. Be okay with messing up. Be okay with making mistakes.
Or do some on some plastic card to start off and just see how thin you need to get. Or on your hand like Dallas does to hone his brush.
Like we take this color right here, and I can be like, I got this color. I can just draw that out and be like, is that the appropriate amount of coverage that I want from this paint? I might thin it out a little bit, stretch it. You know what? That's what I want. So I grab a couple of drops of water, put those couple of drops of water in there. Remember, do it one drop at a time, 1 drop of water at a time. Don't just shove water in the palette. So it's play with it and just get used to it. Get familiar with it. Get familiar with it. Get cozy. Cuddle up with it. Netflix and chill with your paint. Is basically what I'm trying to say. The look on your face, you're just like, I can't believe you said that. You just told them to Netflix and chill with their
Yes.
paint.
And then Pontus was asking what the name of the model is, and the studio name for the model is the Wanderer. He is a Grimkin warlock. However, Dallas is calling him everything from the Shambler, the Shuffler, the Ambler, to the Meanderer, because this is his Wanderer.
I do what I want with my guys.
And then Kern was asking, do you ever paint the pieces of models before you put it together?
I will. So also, once again, I will never answer a question in cold, hard yeses and nos. Unless the question is, do you prime your models? Yes. Always prime your models. Generally, I do not
Yeah.
leave my models separate, even in studio. Even like something like the Avatar that has a big shield. That shield was attached to it. If you're comfortable with painting like that, do it like that. If you're not comfortable with, if you like painting in parts, paint it in parts.
And it's personal because Brendan does it differently. Like, I have seen him paint pieces and then put stuff together. Not often.
Not often. Like definitely like Colossals. I'll leave Colossals cut in half, but that's just because of the
wieldiness of it,
logistical
yeah.
unwieldiness of painting a full Colossal. And there are a couple models that you will want to leave parts off of. It's every model is a different puzzle to grok.
Like,
So-
for example, when I put my Hyperion together, I put him completely together.
Yeah,
I will paint him completely one piece.
Oh well, even the studio Helios, when I painted him, was completely assembled because I didn't feel like he was too unwieldy for me to deal with.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of overhanging parts that are too difficult to reach.
Yeah.
But you might have a model that does.
It's your comfort level. Don't let anybody tell you how to do something. Whatever works for you. Whatever works for you, man. We're all just painting miniatures. There is no hard and fast rules. There is no, you have to always leave your model unassembled. That's not fair. There's just some models that want to be unassembled, and there's some models that just doesn't matter. So you make the call, and whatever you're comfortable with, whatever's easiest for you, whatever gets you to paint the model, really. Like, I mean, if
That
I was
sounds-
told I had to assemble or unassemble models, I'd be like, I don't want to paint every model unassembled. I want to paint it like I want to paint it.
That actually sounds like a pretty good note to close out on. Basically,
Is that a closing note? Or is
do
that-
it your way. Like, whatever way makes sense for you, do that.
Yeah,
Because
whatever.
if you're practicing it and you get comfortable with it, you're going to do your best if you do it a way that you prefer.
That's absolutely true. Get in there and just get painting. I'm here to give you some tips and tricks and some thoughts and some philosophies and some motivations, inspirations. Not so much perspiration, but
Sometimes you can't help it.
day 4 Gen Con. Day 4 Gen Con. Patience, practice, perseverance. Pancakes.
So we'll have to make sure to put some pictures up on Facebook later when you have him done.
He's
Real close.
He's
But I
really
mean, you're going to do
close.
the fire. You're going to do his stick.
Yeah, his stick needs to be done. His fire needs to be done.
Backpack will get finished up, reattached.
Metals. I haven't done anything on metals yet,
Girlfriend.
but the leathers, the pants, I'm pretty much calling that. I'm gonna do
I'm saying it looks pretty good.
one more quick highlight right across this crown because the crown of the head is super important in this model because the way he's facing in light. A couple
And all the shadow that's under the hood.
yeah, that's
Got a contrast.
super contrasty, super poppy. This guy's like, see, I'm just putting couple little tiny those little nickies.
Well, and it
that
helps
Tony
because
likes.
you have a miniature that you've done a lot of washes on.
It's all washes.
And so by, making sure you've got contrast with your highlights and stuff, it helps avoid, like when people see it on the tabletop, it looking like you just dipped it in brown ink.
I did, yeah. You don't want that. It's all washes, but it's all very controlled. So taking my time, thinking about it, and just having fun. Like I'm just having fun painting my little guy with everybody.
And what's cool is it wasn't that much time. It was basically just over an hour.
An hour with talking and Like, that's pretty
Goofing
good.
around, couple little mistakes, a miniature jumping ship.
Oh, that miniature. Oh my gosh.
He was like, I'm out.
He didn't. He was just like, you know what, guys? You're talking
Peace.
too much. Like, I'm calling that leather. I'm calling the shirt. I'm calling the pants. I'm calling the bola. I'm calling the face. Like, I'm almost done
boots
with
look
this
good.
model. The boots look good. I'm ready to do metals. I'm ready to do stick, and then I'm ready to do fire.
Word.
Word.
Alrighty, guys. Sounds like we're gonna see you next time.
Is that it?
That's it.
Are we punching out?
We're done.
We're
We're
clocking.
done?
It's time to go make poor life decisions for lunch.
All right, gang. I guess to close out, until next time, I'll see you next Thursday. And until then, get your paint on.
Get your paint on.
Get your paint on.
Get your paint on.
Thanks for watching.